Sing into your heart. Wait, Dad, you're supposed to say
None killed her. Oh. None killed her. None shall die.
No, Dad, it's 9 killed her, 9 shall die.
Oh, yeah, that's a better movie.
That would be a horrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh, delete this. Delete this.
Yeah.
Delete this.
No kidding.
Dr. And there goes my mic.
Take it again. Why don't you?
Dr. Anton Phibes, played by the always phenomenal Vincent Price.
Vinny P.
Yeah. Is a famous theologist and creepy organ player. He's also supposed to be dead. But instead he has initiated an elaborate revenge plot against the 9 doctors who, several years ago, failed to save the life of his beloved wife, Victoria. And with the help of his beautiful and silent assistant, Volnavia, he is cleverly killing them, all based on the 10 plagues of Egypt from the Old Testament.
The punishments that God thrashed down upon the pharaohs for enslaving the Jewish people. And we'll get into each of those in detail during Spoiler Central in just a few minutes. But basically, what are we talking here? We're talking blood, frogs,
lice, wild animals.
We're talking pestilence, boils. We're talking hail, locusts.
Darkness, and, of course, the death of the firstborn.
Of course.
Wow, that is a lot of cool killing strategies that Anton's got up his sleeves. But there is a kindly doctor who was a part of Victoria Phibes' seemingly doomed operating team, Dr. Vesalius, who is trying to help the police find the culprit. But as time grows short, the tension mounts as the doctors are picked off slowly, one by one.
Gruesomely.
Yeah.
So a little bit mystery, a little bit of gothic horror.
A history lesson thrown in there, too.
Yes, good point. And a fair amount of humor in the movie as well. Kind of like in our last film, Abbott and Costello Meet the Boys. But this is kind of more gallows humor or dark humor. Comedy with unpleasantness at its source. But it's effectively funny.
Yeah, and it has a very healthy amount of cool kills.
Yeah, a bit of a precursor to the Saw movie franchise where people face very elaborate and creative death scenarios that are influenced by some sort of karmic realignment. It's just this one's a lot more charming and entertaining for my money. But the first Saw flick, Serling, does star the guy from Princess Bride. Not the Fright Night guy, the Wesley guy. A little bit about the great Vincent Price. His first horror movie may have been Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, the last movie we did, where he plays the Invisible Man at the very end. He had 50-plus years in film. He has 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one for film and one for television. He further developed his standing as a horror movie star in 1953's House of Wax. There's a William Castle connection here. He was in House on Haunted Hill and The Tingler. He then solidified his horror legacy with Roger Corman in the 60s with some great Edgar Allan Poe adaptations, specifically Pit and the Pendulum. It's one of my favorites. And I think you enjoy that one as well.
Yep.
He was Egghead in the
Batman?
60s Batman. So yes. He was also in real life, he was an art collector and a curator for the art collection of Sears department stores. It was a really, really famous huge nationwide chain of stores. And he was such a fan of art. He wanted everybody to have the opportunity to own art in their homes. And he broke a lot of ground for that noble cause. He was also a gourmet cook. He published a couple of cookbooks, a true Renaissance man. But anyway, he's a doctor in this film, Dr. Anton Phibes. In real life, he should have been awarded a doctorate in awesome. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Let's talk recommended viewing age.
There is a little bit of blood.
There's an okay amount.
Yeah, most on the silly side, though, with one exception.
One or two exceptions. And there's no real language or nudity to be counted.
Except,
oh, yeah.
that one scene.
Yes. There is one scene that has a crude drawing of a naked lady. But I don't think that's anything that should affect the recommended viewing age. What are you going to say? How old do you have to be to see this movie, Serling?
I'm going to go a little conservative on this one, too.
Good. I think it helps to stick on this conservative side of the scale.
I'm going to have to say...
Say it, baby. Just say it.
11 or 10.
10 or 11.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 12 and a half.
Bruh.
I'm playing it safe here. I don't want angry parents contacting me as we get more and more and more and more popular through our YouTube feed, which, by the way, we're up on YouTube now, and we're also up on Apple Podcasts and wherever you get your podcasts, just about wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway, so you say 11, I say 12 and a half. Let's meet somewhere in the middle and say 12 and a quarter.
So, go watch. We'll wait for you right here.
Come back soon. Hey, welcome back. Serling, talk to me a little bit about the other movies. Class of 1971. What other horror movies came out in 1971? I want to say this is a big year for horror.
Pretty big. There are other movies that came out in 1971, but
probably a few. Bounce them off me here.
The Night God Screamed, The Nightcomers, Octoman.
Never heard of it.
The Devils.
Oh, Ken Russell film with Ollie Reed.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Classic Wes Craven, yes.
Bay of Blood.
Bay of Blood, which we Mario Bava, we might do that one.
Blood on Satan's Claw.
Very famous British film.
Crucible of Horror.
Crucible of Horror. Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
I love that.
Dracula versus Frankenstein.
That has Lon Chaney Jr. in it.
Iguana with the Tongue of Fire.
Iguana with a tongue of fire. I can do this all day.
I love the Snake People.
I love the Snake People. Oh, Isle of the Snake People. Yes, never heard of it.
I Monster.
I Monster.
Not
that is Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in it.
The actual letter I Monster.
Oh, Monster. Okay.
Incredible Two-Headed Transplant.
That's Casey Kasem in it.
And I read.
He's the voice of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
I read the what's it called? The cover of it, and it said, "One wants love, one wants death."
Oh,
or
one head.
Yeah.
One head wants love. Oh, so one head's a lover, one head's a fighter. Aww.
Oh my God.
There were a bunch of two-headed movies in the 70s. We'll probably get to another one. Another one has Bruce Dern. Another one has Rosie Greer and Ray Milland. Okay, keep going.
There's Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Famous.
Night of the Dark Shadows.
Night of Dark Shadows.
I will leave.
Oh, please don't. You're my co-host. Who am I going to sing to?
Tombs of the Blind Dead.
Famous.
Twins
Italian movie. Oh, Twins of Evil. Hubba hubba.
Oh my God.
I think that's a Hammer movie.
You have a wife.
I wish I had Twins of Evil, though.
You have a wife.
I have one evil.
Werewolves on Wheels.
Werewolves on Wheels, folks. Werewolves, a motorcycle werewolf movie.
Willard.
Because Easy Rider wasn't enough. Willard.
Whoever and
Ernie B. Ernest Borgnine's in that. And we'll see Ernie B. soon enough in The Devil's Reign. What else? That was it?
No, it was
what?
Who's?
There's so many movies this year. Did only horror movies get released in 1971? Oh. Good list. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I did so much research. Definitely not at the last minute.
Came off flawlessly. So quick, again, back to Phibes. Quick overview of the plot. We meet Phibes at the very beginning. He is literally rising out of the floor of his Art Nouveau, Art Deco mansion, playing Mendelssohn's War March of the Priests on his organ. Very telling. And the music overall, really interesting in this movie. Phibes has a mini orchestra of automatronic musicians who play 1920s standards at the turn of a crank. They're called the Clockwork Wizards, which is hands down way better name than any of the bands I've ever been in.
And already gone is the doctor who we learn was stung to death by bees. Ouch. Giving him boil-like wounds. Can't imagine
Next,
those bursting.
and the first death that we actually get to witness is a doctor who is killed in his bed by bats released into his room via a skylight.
Let me talk to you about something.
Okay. This is about the
They're
bats?
so lucky he left that skylight open. And
Yeah.
secondly, fruit bats are completely harmless to humans. I mean, the
Yeah, they use
fruit
fruit
is
bats.
in the name.
I guess.
They're large.
I guess this is supposed to be the plague of lice or gnats, and I guess gnats rhymes with bats,
Closest thing.
and bats certainly make for more exciting cinema than gnats.
Watch
I guess
bats.
are vampire bats smaller than fruit bats? That's why they use
Yes.
fruit bats. You know about animals.
Yes.
Then Phibes is at a masquerade ball where he gives an elaborate frog mask to another of the targeted doctors, but the mask is a trap, and it starts to crunch his head.
So I'm guessing this mask is made by Phibes because he.
He has a gift for gadgetry,
Yeah.
as they say.
So that's 3 doctors down.
Yeah.
The fourth death is our blood plague. The doctor victim this time is drained of all 8 pints of blood that fill the human body.
You didn't love this scene.
Yeah, it gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay, we'll get to
But
that.
not like the scary heebie-jeebies.
But yeah,
like
one
the-
after another, drained of all 8 pints by Volnavia and Phibes. But here, Phibes makes a costly error. He accidentally
Dun-dun.
drops a very special necklace that has a Hebrew letter on it. Phibes had 10 of these made for him, and now the police have a clue and a hot lead. They track down the jeweler who made the necklaces, and who, by the way, played the Candyman in Willy Wonka. And they find that a quiet, fashionable lady purchased these necklaces some time ago.
Volnavia, if
Yeah.
you didn't know. The police have also figured out that the deaths of the doctors are related because there was only one medical case and operation that they all worked together on, Victoria Phibes. But it was too late to save her, and supposedly Phibes died in a fiery car crash trying to get to the hospital to be there with her.
But Phibes, who did not die, he's staying busy with his Pharaoh Plague revenge. Hail! One victim gets frozen solid in the back of his car, thanks to another Phibes contraption, presumably. Meanwhile, the chief surgeon on the team that failed to save Victoria Phibes is Dr. Vesalius, as we mentioned, and he's played by film legend Joseph Cotton. And he's helping the police to try to figure all this out.
The police start trying to protect him and the doctors who remain, but they just miss one because he's taken off in his little prop plane, which we quickly find out that Phibes has filled with hungry rats.
Pestilence!
Next, locusts.
This might be the most bizarre kill in the entire
I love this
movie,
kill.
maybe in all of film history. So this is Nurse Allen, and this one takes her out because she assisted the doctors who operated on Victoria. So as she's sleeping, Phibes covers her in, what is it? It's like boiled down Brussels sprout goo, and then she's devoured by what look like grasshoppers, but I guess they're supposed to be locusts.
I do really want to talk about the scene. It made me laugh so much when he like starts by pouring just a little bit, and then she's like covered with it.
I know. The next time it cuts back,
And she's
her
like-
head is like covered.
Yeah.
You can't even see it anymore.
And I also
Cool, very, very bizarre,
I also,
unusual death.
I also
I
love
love
it when Phibes is making it, and he's like, "Oh, this one isn't good enough for this."
Yeah, he's boiling down the
It's like,
Brussels sprouts, and he's sniffing at the Brussels sprouts. He's like, "Oh yeah, this can go into the pot. No, this one's not good."
But his
enough.
facial expression.
And when they're in the elevator with him,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
He,
Wait, is this? Wait, are you tipping your hand? Is this going to be your favorite death in the movie?
No, I have my favorite death.
All right, go.
All right. The police are obviously not doing a very good or effective job of protecting these poor medical professionals, and Dr. Vesalius is really starting to get nervous now because there are only 2 pair of plagues left: darkness and death of the firstborn.
Oh no!
I don't know. Oh yeah, his son.
And sure enough, Vesalius' son is kidnapped by Phibes, strapped and locked onto an operating table, and the key to release him from the table has been implanted in his chest. So Vesalius will have to perform a careful operation to free him.
And as Phibes explains, he doesn't have a generous amount of time to do this. In fact, he has 6 minutes, the same amount of time that Victoria was under his care before she died. And if the 6 minutes expire...
So does his son, who will be showered with acid that is making its way towards him via an extravagant corkscrew delivery system. Let's talk about the cast a little bit more. So Joseph Cotten, my gosh, wow. Because I went to film school, I know who this guy is. He stars in possibly the most indelible film of all time. And he's in Citizen Kane. See, that would be the obnoxious film snob way of delivering a message. But the fact is that Joseph Cotten, just for our potential purposes here, starred in Soylent Green. Do you know what Soylent Green is, Serling?
No.
It's something very specific.
Oh,
No spoilers yet. So Joseph Cotten's role, interestingly enough, Serling, do you know? I told you about this.
Initially supposed to be played by the also great, possibly even greater, Peter Cushing.
Yes.
But his own beloved wife was very sick, so he had to decline. One more thing I really have to take.
But that's so interesting. So Peter Cushing couldn't do this movie because he was so in love with his wife. And this movie is so romantic and about love. And it would have been great to see Peter Cushing in this movie, but I'm overjoyed, thrilled out of my pants to see Joseph Cotten in this.
Can I say something, please?
Is that an expression? Yeah.
While the rats are happening, I love...
Oh, we're going to get to that. Don't you worry. Okay, so let's talk about what we loved about this movie.
Well...
Talk to me.
I love, during the rat scene, Phibes is watching so closely. Like
he's watching through a gold telescope as this plane careens out of control as the pilot finds that he has a cockpit full of rats to deal with. And Phibes is just watching, so delighted through this telescope on a nearby hillside. And when the plane crashes, he spins
it, and then Volnavia grabs the violin and starts just playing it perfectly. And
Phibes applauds. What a delightful show that was. He's so happy with himself. I was thinking maybe that was my favorite kill, but that's not my favorite kill. What else do we like about this? I love that he has to plug a cord into his neck whenever he wants to speak through a speaker, like a loudspeaker thing. That's very cool. And he drinks by pouring wine into the hole in his neck.
Let me talk about the costumes in this.
Oh,
incredible.
Fantastic.
I love
the set design is amazing.
But
it's beautiful. Every frame of this is like a work of art. And I'm not exaggerating that. This is a beautiful, gorgeous Technicolor movie that spends a lot of time setting up its shots very, very specifically and purposefully. I
really like it when they do that dance and when he's pouring her wine.
Mm-hmm.
It's so romantic.
It's one of the most romantic movies I've ever seen.
I like it.
It's this, Casablanca. I can't think
Did you just say Casablanca?
Yeah. What else do you like about this? I like whenever he kills a doctor, he goes back to his lair and he has the wax heads that he melts, and he puts the Hebrew symbol necklace on them representing how they died, which plague. Very symbolic, very cool. Is there anything about this movie that you didn't like?
I don't know. Oh, wait, there's one more thing I really love. When she starts destroying everything,
with
and
the
the heads are there.
At the end. Volnavia, as Vesalius is operating on his son, Phibes tells Volnavia to destroy everything they've made, and she grabs this huge gold axe and just starts going nuts on the place. It's very cool. Let's talk about the SGS moment.
No!
Serling.
No,
SGS could mean Serling got scared, Serling got spooked. In this case, it stands for Serling got squeamish. So Serling felt a little nauseous during the rat attack.
Not nauseous.
In the plane.
I couldn't look at it. It was too...
Well, it's pretty tame until there's one close-up of a rodent nibbling on a piece of bloody flesh.
Listen, I'm all for blood and flesh.
Yeah, but that was enough for you.
I was like...
And to be fair, you had thrown up earlier in the day.
Yeah.
You had this weird combo breakfast of yogurt, raspberries, and probiotic tea. You shut up.
You shut up.
Yep.
You shut up.
I will
have a shut up fight with you right after this.
Deal. Coolest kill. Was it the rat plane for you?
No. It was the masquerade ball.
No, that's mine.
Too bad!
All right, say what you have to say about the masquerade ball, and then I'll say what I liked about it. This is the psychiatrist, or as he says, head shrinker.
I love
That's how he
visuals
introduces
of it.
himself.
I love the visuals of it. But I love that Phibes is completely silent when he gives him the mask.
Yeah, he can't talk.
Yeah.
So they're at this loud party, and he just puts this mask on the psychiatrist, again, who worked on his wife's case, and the psychiatrist accepts it, all friendly-like, in the middle of this masquerade ball. And then, yeah, I love the visuals here. And how no one, so they're at this masquerade ball, everyone's dressed up, and no one, not the horse, not the pig, not the lion, lifts a finger to help him as he's struggling to free himself from this mask that's getting tighter and tighter around his noggin.
And I love that you can see what's going on, and it just fills up with blood.
Yeah, it's the point, the camera cuts to the point of view of the psychiatrist who's getting massacred. And yeah, there's this red filter that goes over the camera, and I love the music that's playing, how it warps in from the music that's playing at the party into these nightmarish tones as his panic grows and grows and grows. That was the coolest kill for me. So we agree on the coolest kill in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
So not Nurse Allen with the Brussels sprout goo and the locusts.
It was just too
it's the frog
silly
mask.
for me. It was too silly for me.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about MVP, most valuable player in this movie.
Ooh. Well,
who do you think is the
Phibes.
real standout in this movie?
Phibes.
And it could be,
Phibes.
or we could be talking about above the line people, so the actors, or the directors, or the writers, or the
Phibes.
below the line people.
Phibes.
So you're going to go Vinny P.
Phibes.
Vinny P is your standout.
Phibes.
That's a good choice.
And Volnavia.
They
were so good.
as much as I love Vincent Price, just got one of his albums on eBay delivered to us today. So well-timed podcast recording here. But I'm going to go the set designer. The set designer on this movie is just fantastic. I'm going to go
with the costume designer.
Costume
Incredible.
design and the set design. Also the original story concept, James Whitten and William Goldstein. The story for this movie is so incredible and original and bizarre and fun. Let's do our ratings. Serling, where does this movie fall on your fearometer?
Well, you already know I'm going to give it a low rating because you're me. Or I'm me. You know.
I'm you, and
No.
you're me.
No. Oh.
You're a little bit me, and I'm a little bit you, too. That's a Monkeys reference.
Cut that out.
Nope.
No.
Now we're going to introduce a game to the podcast called One Tomato, Two Tomato.
Mm-hmm.
No, how about you say tomato, I say tomato,
Okay.
where we compare the score of the movie that we're talking about that it got on Rotten Tomatoes, and we look at some other movies that got the same score. So this film has a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 88%. That's pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the same rating as some other classic movies that we've seen. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That's the one with Sean Connery playing his dad.
Albert and Costello.
What?
Albert.
No, Abbott and Costello is higher. Abbott and Costello, I think, was 90%. But
90?
88% Shrek. So same Rotten Tomatoes rating as Phibes. Titanic, which you haven't seen yet. But for a while, that was like the highest grossing movie ever.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
I have some bad news for you, Serling.
What?
This film that you love has the same Rotten Tomatoes rating as Barbie. You threw up a little bit. Oh, you threw up a lot. The Bad Guys, same Rotten Tomatoes rating as this.
Okay. I guess I can see
And
that.
another movie that we love and that we'll be covering on this podcast.
Yes.
Many, many seasons from now. Tremors has the same.
I love
Tremors has the same. Tremors is great,
Tremors
and it
is
has the
incredible.
same Rotten Tomatoes rating as this movie. The Bob's Burgers movie has an 87, so one under this movie.
87.
And you know what movie that you've seen some of has one higher than
89?
this movie? Castaway.
Castaway. Interesting.
With the guy from
Oh,
Splash.
yeah.
gets stranded on the island. I don't know why he doesn't just swim into the ocean and find Madison and let her save him. On our James Bondo protractor.
Yeah, I love James Bond.
So we talk about where the movie falls based on James Bond movies. So Dr. Phibes falls between Thunderball,
Ooh.
which has an 85% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
My God.
And Skyfall, which has a 92% Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Ooh,
That was fun. New little feature for the
Yeah, we hope
channel.
you enjoyed that. Yeah.
So now we're going to get back to our ratings. So Serling, where are you going to put this on your barometer?
Not that
I'm hearing from you that it's not going to rate very high. It didn't scare you all that much, even though the rat scene freaked you out.
It didn't freak me out. It just
So give me a rating, 1 to 10.
3.
3? No. We haven't cracked. I don't think we've cracked your 3 yet. I'm going to give this a 4.
Really?
Because I think there were some creepy moments, maybe not overtly scary. So you have a 3, I have a 4. We haven't gotten very scary movies so far. I think that might change within the next couple of weeks, though. Where is this on your funnel?
1 million.
So
are you good?
I'm going to give this a 10
It's
too.
Too good.
Great movie. I can't recommend this movie enough. Go see this movie, people.
So good.
And 12 and a quarter-year-old kids. Serling, talk about our coming attractions.
So before I say that, sorry, Dad, but please.
Oh boy, someone has their own agenda today.
Please like our channel. Please subscribe.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Smash that like button, whatever they say.
Punch that like button in the face.
They're gonna break their computer or iPad or phone.
Don't do that.
Anyway, next time on Daddy Daughter Scary Horror, we crack open the animals getting angry horror genre.
One of the best horror genres.
There will be Jaws, but not Jaws.
Oh, good.
Not Jays, not to the Jays.
Okay, yeah, we're not to the J's yet.
There will be some crooked local politics. There will be a police officer and a science-minded professional.
This is sounding like Jaws so far. Okay.
And a professional hired to kill the animal gone crazy. It's Jaws.
This is Jaws.
No.
This is
No.
Still not Jaws?
It's not 1975, Dad. No.
Oh, okay.
1981.
Oh, okay. So we're introducing a new decade on the cast. That's exciting.
Uh-huh. So our next movie will.
No! Don't tell them. You gotta hint at it. You gotta tease them.
But they're our fans.
So we're giving them. This is part of the dance.
Does our next movie qualify as a true house pet, or does it belong in the sewer? Next time on Daddy Daughter Scary Horror. Have a great day.
Follow us. Subscribe to us. Slam the poop out of that like button. ddshpod.com for more tidbits and interesting facts. Sign up for our hourly newsletter. And check out my other podcast, Dadcom, where I share tips and psychometric strategies for keeping your resting pulse rate below 17 BPMs. See you next time, folks.
You can tell me about that.
You're not involved with that. You're on the life outside of it.